So this is a story that I've been sitting on for a couple days now. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it just because I didn't think I would be able to control my anger. And I was worried that I was going to say something that would get me in trouble, maybe get me sued, maybe get me canceled, or maybe have the FBI come knocking at my door. But it's too important of a story for me to not talk about this. And it, of course, involves the dumbest member of the Trump administration, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who this past Wednesday went out there and explained in very clear words that he doesn't know what autism is. This man, who has devoted the last, 10 years of his life, 15 years maybe, of his life to rooting out the causes of autism, made it crystal frickin' clear that he doesn't know what autism is. He's insane. But let me read you this. You've probably seen the video clips of it, but here is what this man had to say. This monster. He's not even a man. He's a friggin' monster. This is what he said. Talking about children with autism. He called it a preventable disease. We know it's environmental exposure. It has to be. Okay, stop you right there. We know it's environmental exposure. It has to be. Okay, the second statement proves that you don't know that it's environmental exposure. You're just guessing. Genes do not cause epidemics. It's not an epidemic. They can provide a vulnerability, but you need an environmental toxin. There's the environmental lawyer coming out instead of the doctor that we actually need in charge of Health and Human Services. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., by trade, is an environmental lawyer. And he was a very good environmental lawyer, to be honest with you. They found toxins causing cancers, causing other diseases in people. He won those cases alongside my boss, Mike Papantonio. The problem is, just because you did it in some areas does not mean that it applies to other areas of science, medicine, brain chemistry, all of that. But that is what this idiot is trying to do. So he's like, well, it's got to be environment. But then he gets really, really disgusting. Again, talking about children with autism. These are kids who, many of them, were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they are 2 years old. These are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children. Nothing that he said was true. The vast majority of people with autism, you pass them every day and you don't even know it. They look like everybody else. They act like everybody else for the most part. They may have a few eccentricities. They may have some, different habits. They may stem every now and then, but they are able to live just as happy and a functional life as people without autism. Again, most people with autism, you don't even know it. And it's not this debilitating disease. It is a neurological condition. And he, of course, was talking about, well, the prevalence has gone up so much in just the last 5 years because the diagnostic criteria have expanded. The recognition and the screening has gotten more advanced. That's why the cases have increased, not because we're all being exposed to something, but because we're better at recognizing this. Probably 30, 35, maybe 40 years ago, kids, with autism, for the most part, would never have been diagnosed with autism. Not because they didn't have it, but because the teacher would probably tell the parents, like, hey, they're fidgety. I think they've got ADD. Take them to the doctor. Put them on Ritalin. And that's what would happen. I think we ended up with a lot of misdiagnoses of ADHD because it could have been somebody with autism. But at the time, the diagnostic criteria wasn't there. There wasn't a spectrum. So that's what happened. And as science evolved, so too did the diagnostic criteria. We were able to better identify it. The full spectrum was created. You could be here, you could be there, you could be anywhere on it, right? And there's different subdivisions within the spectrum as well. But for the most part, nearly everyone on that spectrum is still able to do things contrary to what Kennedy says, like go to the bathroom by themselves. They're still able to have normal, fully functioning lives. Just a few minor things they have to deal with going through those lives. And as I said, most of the time you won't even know it. But this statement, this horribly wrong, incorrect, demeaning, and disgusting statement proves that this man who swears he's going to solve autism doesn't even know what it is. He literally thinks that people who have autism are complete invalids, right? You're basically a quadriplegic. You can't feed yourself. You can't dress yourself. You can't play baseball or go on dates. You can't pay taxes or hold a job. You're a burden on your family. You destroy families, he said. Nothing could be further from the truth. This man, in my personal opinion, is insane. And I'm saying that as somebody who watched him go insane. I used to work with him at Ring of Fire. He wasn't always like that, and that is why these stories about him piss me off so much. Because I know what he once was, and I've seen what he has become. And I genuinely hate this man. More so than any other member of this administration, I hate him with every fiber of my being. He is a disgusting, deplorable, lying sack of human excrement, stigmatizing people that already have this unfair stigma against him. He is lying to the American public. He is proving to you how stupid he is. And he's the one that is dismantling our health infrastructure in the United States right now. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform. That, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.